Welcome. We pride ourselves on promptness, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Joliet Central and West students Madison Barr, Gabrielle Guerrero, Liliana Basico, Jordan Shell, Ashley Sabias, and Raven Turan will be providing American Sign Language interpretation for the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem under the direction of Ms. Kyla Friss. The National Anthem will be sung by the Joliet West student vocalist, Gracie Mitchell, under the direction of Mr. Tim DeBoer. Please rise for the posting of the colors by the Joliet West JROTC under the direction of Colonel Benjamin White and Sergeant Nathan Atkinson.
March! Left turn, march! Pause reverse, march! Hold guard, halt! Post! Post! Colors! Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
March time, march! Right turn, march! Forward, march!
Please be seated. My name is Carla Guzman, and I have the privilege of serving as the superintendent for Joliet Township High School. Before we begin our program, I would like to begin with a moment of silence. On Sunday, January 21st, 7 members of the Nance and Esther's family tragically lost their lives, including Joliet West Junior Alana Nance and her sister Alexandria Nance, a West alum from the class of 2022. They are forever to remain in our hearts as cherished members of the Tiger family, and we continue to hold Alana, Alexandria, their family and friends and loved ones in our thoughts. This is a tragic loss that we cannot understand, but we are working to heal together. Thank you. Again, I'm Carla Guzman, and I have been serving as superintendent since 2020. This is my 24th year in the district, and there's no place I'd rather serve or send my own children than Joliet Township High School. I'm the proud mother of a Joliet Central alum, a Joliet West alum, and a current Joliet West student. Before we begin, I want to give thanks to so many people for tonight's event. And I apologize if I'm leaving anybody off because it takes a village, and this is such a phenomenal event because of the people that have put in so much work. So first of all, I want to thank our culinary arts students for their desserts and food and service this evening under the direction of Ryan Hager. I want to thank the Joliet West Band for providing the beautiful music last hour under the direction of Eric Wellman. Our Joliet West ROTC students under the direction of Colonel White and Sergeant Atkinson. Our choir student who sang so beautifully under the direction of Mr. DeVore. Our sign language students under the direction of Kyla Friss. Our community resource providers for sharing valuable information with our community this evening. Dick and Millie Schuster filming this event for Channel 6. Bonnie Winfrey for interviewing for Channel 6, and our JTHS Director of Community and Alumni Relations, Christine Schlishman and her team, as well as Laura Heck, Norris Moffett, and Tanya Rico for helping to plan this event this evening. If we could give them a round of applause. This event was the vision of the Board of Education. Last year, it was held at Joliet Central, and the goal is to engage the community and tell our story, because no one tells it better than us. So tonight, I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge all of our elected officials in attendance, including our Board of Education. With us this evening, and I'm going to read the list of all elected officials, so I'm going to ask you to stand and remain standing. So we have with us President Michelle Stiff, Secretary Lorraine Guerrero-Neumayer, Board Member Dr. Angela Huntington, Board Member Dan Coffey. We also have Cece DeBold, Village of Shorewood Mayor, Michelle Westerhoff, representing the District Office of Senator Meg Lutheran Capital, Saul Brass, Board of Education Vice President, Laraway Community Consolidated School District 70C, Alicia Morales, Joliet Township Government Clerk and Joliet Junior College Board of Trustee, Vice Chair, Vince Logan, Will County Board Member, Katie Dean Schlattman, Will County Board Member, Angel Contreras, Joliet Township Government Supervisor, Tyler G.C. Colon, representing the Office of State Representative Natalie Manley, Susanna Abera, City of Joliet Councilwoman, Joshua McCluskey, representing the Office of State Representative Larry Walsh Jr., Mark Griglione, Troy 30C, Board of Education President, Sabrina Price, Troy 30C, Board of Education Secretary, Diane Harris, Joliet Junior College Trustee, Jessica Beeshold, representing the Office of Congresswoman Lauren Underwood, Rebecca Leader, representing the Office of Will County Clerk Lauren Staley Ferry, Sandra Aguirre, Joliet District 86 Board Member at Large, Antoine Edwards, Joliet Township Government Trustee. If there's any additional elected officials that I didn't read, please stand. Sorry. Thank you. Please join me in a round of applause for all of our elected officials here this evening. I feel privileged to serve JTHS in our community and also feel blessed to work with a supportive Board of Education who always makes decisions based on what is best for students. I would like to invite Board of Education President Michelle Stiff to the podium to deliver remarks on behalf of the Board of Education.
Good evening. I am Michelle Stiff. On behalf of the Board of Education, we are grateful to our parents, our students, our staff, the alumni, the community, and our elected officials for attending the second annual State of the District Address. We would also like to thank all of our community partners and agencies for attending tonight to provide valuable information and resources to help enrich and improve our community. So thank you. I'll receive that. The Board of Education prioritizes community engagement, and tonight is an aspect of that engagement. One of our core beliefs at JTHS, which is embedded throughout our strategic plan, is that education is a collaborative responsibility. It's a collaborative responsibility with our students. It's a collaborative responsibility with our staff and our families. It's a collaborative responsibility with our partners. Because when we work together, we are stronger. So our goal here tonight, after sharing this information, is to further establish partnerships and collaboration with our stakeholders. I have experience in serving in many school districts, or several school districts, not many. So I know what it's like. Each school district is different. They're unique. And so today you'll hear from our Board of Education and our administrative leadership team, and they will talk about all the ways and the aspects that make JTHS an innovative school district. You'll also hear from our student ambassadors who will share their experience and their educational journey. You will learn about the opportunities afforded to our students with our community partners. And you will also hear about the health of our district. So in closing, I welcome each of you to our event and thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stiff. In addition to our supportive Board of Education, JTHS has a devoted leadership team, many of whom are here tonight. So I would like to introduce our principals and assistant superintendent for educational services and ask them to stand. And if you're also on our leadership team, can you stand as well? That means you have to get up. Thank you for the work you do. Before we begin, just a few logistics. I will deliver the majority of the information this evening, but between topics, our student ambassadors, which is my personally favorite part, will share their high school experiences. I want to note that we do not tell them what to say. So it's their words, it's their experience, and I'm very, very excited for you to hear from them. We'll also hear from community partners from our CEO and Will County Summer Internship programs. They're going to be sharing exciting information about new and exciting initiatives, and this goes back to what Mrs. Stiff talked about, the importance of partnerships. This event also includes a presentation of the Michael Austin Clark Community Service Scholarship and Community Leader Award. These scholarships and awards were supposed to be presented during our MLK Day of Service. However, the weather did not think that that was going to happen. So, since our event had to be canceled, we will conclude with those presentations this evening. We do understand your time is valuable, and we thank you for your grace and understanding if we go a little bit past 7 p.m. this evening. We do have a jam-packed presentation plan, so while there's not time for questions, there are feedback cards on your table. Also, we have a QR code, and we want your feedback, we want your suggestions for how to improve. This is our second state of the district, and we plan to do this annually, so we do want to hear back from you. So please let us know what you think, and if you have any suggestions for improvement, please give us those. We also, I thought it went blank, I'm sorry about that. So we also know we cannot talk about everything within our district. Well, I could, but we'd be here until, I don't know, next week. So we are going to stick to our script, but I wanted to share that we do have a Points of Pride website. And if you use this QR code, you can access that. And there's so many wonderful things going on in our district, and I encourage you, when you have a chance, to review that information. Our schools are part of our community, and they are things to be proud of. They are places to be proud of, and our students are people to be proud of. So please, please, please look at that when you have a chance. We will be posting this presentation too, so you'll be able to access the entire presentation. We're going to be talking about a lot of topics tonight, but we're going to move through them rapidly. We also, like I said, have 7 students we're going to hear from this evening. And so we're breaking up some of the topics with our high school experiences. So we're really excited, and I know they're excited too, right? We're excited? Okay. They were also doing a great job pointing everyone in the right direction this evening. There's some information on your table, our quick facts. This is a document we create every year, and this has just some basic information about our district. It's important to note that the information within this document is from the 2022-2023 school year. We always put it out after the school report card goes out, so the information is from last year. So when we share some information later, like number of staff, that'll be information in real time, and this is information from 2022-23. Important information, like our schools are large, right? We have between 3,300 and 3,400 students at each campus. We also have 2 programs by Central Campus in addition to our 2 main campuses. We have Pathways and we have our Transition Center, and we're proud of both of those programs as well. One of the things I want to highlight, and you'll probably continue to hear this evening from this information, is something that I'm going to ask everybody be cognizant of and we work on together, and that is chronic absenteeism. This is something that has gotten worse nationwide with COVID. You're going to hear about some outstanding opportunities, outstanding courses. Our staff, from my parent perspective, as well as superintendent, we do an amazing job with our students. But they have to be here in school to receive those opportunities. And right now, as a district, we're at 50% chronic absenteeism. That means missing more than 17 days of school. JTHS isn't alone. This is a community issue. It's a statewide issue. I was at a recent meeting where we were all talking about it, and it's a national issue. So this is something we need all of your help with. Please talk about the importance of students coming to school every day. Okay, so that's some good information up there as well. I also want to highlight, if you look at the sheet, we have 8 public schools that we work very closely with. And I know some of our superintendents from those center schools as well as leadership are there tonight, or are here tonight. Can you please stand? I just want to say that, thank you. I want to thank our center schools for the partnership we have. In fact, we met this morning, so really great timing. We meet regularly, our staff meets regularly, we understand the importance of the K through 12 continuum, and we work as a team. So I want to thank our partner and our center schools for being here and for the work that we do together. So as we are talking about a point of pride and talking about something that makes Joliet Township High School great, I just want to hit on the number of activities and athletics that we have. We have over 40 IHSA, South Prairie Conference, athletics offerings. We also have over 50 building clubs and activities. Last week, we had our 8th grade preview night. In the past, it's been in December. This year, we moved it to January. It was well-attended, I think the most well-attended event that we've had for that in a long time at both schools. And one of the key messages that I heard and that was demonstrated was the importance of students getting engaged. So if you have students that are incoming, current students, community members, students you love, please encourage them to get involved. And if athletics aren't their jam, that's fine. They can play Dungeons and Dragons, they can do esports, they can do community service. There is something for every single student. Students who are engaged, there's a relationship to success in high school. They make connections, there's a sense of belonging. As I already stated, our schools are big. And so it's really, really important to encourage our students to make those connections. And sometimes they need a little shove, right? Especially after COVID. Everybody got really okay with being alone. And that's not necessarily a good thing all the time. So that's something I want you to encourage. When you hear from our students this evening, listen to all of the things that they're involved in. And that'll just give you a little bit of a taste of what's out there. So this is something we're really proud of. So in saying that, we're going to hear from one of our first students, Casey Terrell, and he's going to share his story.
Hi, my name is Casey Tiro, and I'm a senior here at Joliet West, and I'd like to start off by thanking everyone who nominated me to be in this position. I am truly honored to stand in front of you all today and have the opportunity to say a few words here tonight. I want to start off by sharing what I love about my school, Joliet West, the most. Similar to the position I'm currently in, Joliet West offers a number of different opportunities and activities for students to get outside of their comfort zone and explore all the new ways to be successful in not only the present, but also the near future. The ability to create a strong bond with new people is evident inside the walls here at Joliet West. It is a place where others can form a culture to succeed with one another. I can't give enough credit to the staff members. From the teachers to the security, the men and women working inside the building make the school environment feel like home every single day. Academic-wise, the JTHS district is second to none with the best of them. The countless AP, dual credit, and various honors courses offered here gives teenagers like me many more opportunities than most students around the country. Lastly, coming from a sports kid, the sporting events that go on in this building are awesome to be a part of. Our athletic programs are getting better and better, and I've been honored to be a part of seeing that growth firsthand. There's nothing better than a Friday night game where the Wild West packs the stands at the newly revamped football stadium, or walking into a fully packed gymnasium to watch a basketball game. I want to share a little bit about myself. I've been a high honor roll student here at Joliet West all 4 years. I've been an active member in both the National Honor Society and Mu Alpha Theta, which is the Math Honor Society. I am among the top 50 males of my graduating class and will participate in Mr. Alpha Omega contest coming up in the next few weeks. Continuing on, I have been a two-sport athlete as well, dating back to my freshman year, where I started on varsity for the JTHS golf team and was a member of the freshman baseball team who went 29-0, and some might call it the greatest freshman team ever assembled. I've gone on to play 4 years of varsity golf and 3 years of baseball at the varsity level. Then last, but definitely not least, is my biggest accomplishment in my opinion. This really has not been public news of who was under the mascot mask, so I guess today is my reveal party. I have been the Joliet West mascot for the past 7 years, dating back to my 6th grade year. I started with just a tiger onesie and a Walmart tiger head and was known for my great dance moves. Mr. Steve Millsap saw my passion and told me this would be my job through senior year. I then came up with the design plan for the current tiger and the permanent name for the new mascot suit. And from there, the character of Tails that we all see today was officially born. It's pretty cool to think that I had a say in the new suit, of how the new suit looks, and hopefully my name of Tails lives on for generations to come. But seriously, I take pride in being the face behind the mask that represents our school. On the board, I left the Twitter handle for Tails' Twitter page where I post all about all the upcoming events and what Tails is up to at the moment. Beginning next year, I plan on studying marketing at Indiana University South Bend. I've been accepted into their honors program before even stepping on campus. IUSB was not only a fit for me academically, but also athletically, as I'll be playing baseball in South Bend as well. Lastly, I want to leave some advice for all the incoming freshmen to the district. The main piece of advice is to step out of your comfort zone and go explore new activities and ideas, because you never know what your true calling is until you try and find it. But with that comes time management with your classes and also the opportunity to join as many extracurriculars as possible. Try to surround yourself around the right people that want to see you learn and grow. And of course, live in the moment, because I know from experience that your time in high school will be gone before you know it. Thank you for your time.
I just want to say thank you to Casey, and it's really exciting to know who was sitting behind me at the dance championship at state last week. So thanks, the Tails travels. So thank you so much. The next portion that we're going to talk about is our school report card. So our Illinois school report card is different for K-8 and high school. There are some nuances and differences. If you are familiar with the old school report card, pre-2018-ish, it really focused only on ACT and SAT. This school report card is a much better representation. While there's still probably some issues we could debate, it does take into account multiple indicators. So when you're looking at this, 75% are academic indicators, and the largest component on how schools are rated is graduation rate. If you are familiar at all with our current strategic plan or our previous strategic plan, this has been a focus for Joliet Township High School for years. And we did, COVID did cause some setbacks, but I'm happy to share that this past year, we had a slight increase at Central and a 3% gain at West. So we're heading in the right direction, and we hope to continue that. The next largest indicator is chronic absenteeism with 10%. So that is one of the things we're measured on. And when we talk about chronic absenteeism, it affects everything. If you're not in school, there's a higher likelihood you're not going to graduate. You're not going to do well on tests. You're not going to have a good feeling when it comes to climate and culture because you're not here. So that is something that I think affects everything. So those are just some of the indicators. When we look at how schools are designated, there's 4 designations. And this is relatively new. Like I said, this report card came out 2018-19, and then it went on pause during COVID, and now we have data again. So Joliet West is commendable, and this past year, Joliet Central is targeted. And it's targeted based on 2 subgroups. Our children with disabilities subgroup, as well as our English language learners subgroups, which are 2 large populations at Joliet Central and really across the district. With targeted, there's additional funds coming from the state to focus on these areas. So these areas will remain an area of focus across the district, but the funds that come in specific to this designation are for Joliet Central. So we'll be receiving those funds and then making plans to really focus on those subgroups. When we look at our data, what did I press? Anyway, when we look at the data, because I can talk through this, oh, thank you very much. When we look at this data, there's 3 items that I did want to highlight: graduation rate, chronic absenteeism, and 9th grade on track. As I stated earlier, chronic absenteeism is a big problem for our community. We do have staff who do home visits, and we make calls, and we try and re-engage students. But this is one where we need community and parents' help to send kids to school and to work with us to re-engage students in school. This is something that we do believe affects everything. I already talked a little bit about graduation rate. 9th grade on track is also a very important metric for us because there's so much research that shows students that are on track at the end of 9th grade are more likely to have a successful high school experience and graduate on time. So we have a lot of supports in place focused on 9th grade, focused on transitioning into high school, and if you're interested in learning more about those, please set up a time to talk with me or reach out to our principals. We'd love to talk about those, but we have things like credit recovery in winter and summer. We have summer school. We also have supports within the school day. We have tutoring after school done by our teachers virtually and on the weekends. So there's a lot of ways to get support. So if you know anyone who's struggling or you have a student who's struggling, please just reach out to us so we can put interventions in place to provide that support. Our JTHS strategic plan. As I shared earlier, I've had the pleasure of being in the district for 24 years. We have had a strategic plan that has been guiding our district since 2001, and I've been able to be involved with every single strategic plan that we've had in place. Our most recent strategic plan was approved by the Board of Education in December of 2022, and in May of 2023, the board approved the work on specific action plans that then our administrative team have taken the lead on, and you're going to hear about some of that work tonight. Specifically, work with our master facility plan and some work-based learning opportunities, to just name a couple. This is the board's plan for the improvement of the district. And what we're really proud of when it comes to strategic planning within our district is that it is inclusive of community input. So the team that you see up here is representative of students, staff, post-secondary partners, community partners, parents, and we work together over 6 months to determine what that focus is going to be. We have action teams that came together, and we did an all-call that worked on our 4 strategies, and that really, I figured out what I'm pressing, so I'm not gonna press that again. Or I will, and I'll be able to fix it. Thank you, Mahmoud. Sorry about that, but he was gonna help me. Thank you, Mahmoud. So I can't go through the entire strategic plan this evening, but again, this is located on our website as well, and this QR code will take you through this if you want to look at it in its entirety. What I do want to focus on is our mission and our objectives. Our mission is who we are and who we strive to be. So things like innovative. We want to have rigorous curriculum. We want to have partnerships. We also want to celebrate our history. And those are just the things that make us who we are. How are we going to arrive at the next level or level up for our students? That's our objectives. So these are what we want to accomplish in the next 5-ish years. If you look at our strategic plan, you'll see that we have 4 strategies. Our 4 strategies include these areas. So strategy 1 is focused on equitable educational experiences. 2 is focused on organizational structures. Strategy 3 is focused on attendance and academics, and strategy 4 is focused on district resources. Again, we have about 25 action plans with multiple steps in each of how we're going to accomplish the objectives that I shared earlier that focus on post-secondary, attendance, student growth. One of the things that we believe at Joliet Township High School is it's about meeting kids where they're at. No, not everybody is at the same starting place. So where are students at, and how do we maximize their growth? That's what's most important. We want all kids to achieve, but maximizing growth is the most important thing. When we're talking about educational services, you already heard some of the things that I'm going to mention talked about, but we're really proud of our advanced placement courses as well as dual credit. And we have phenomenal relationships with our local junior college, JJC, and I know we have representatives here this night, so we thank you for your partnership. We've really been able to focus on having students be very prepared for post-secondary. If you've heard me speak before, you've probably heard me say this. I do not believe every student needs to go to college to be successful, but it's our job to prepare every student to go to college if that's what they need to go into the career that they are seeking for. So we want to help kids plan for post-secondary. So advanced placement classes and dual credit classes allow students to earn credit while in high school that is going to save them or maybe their parents money at the next level. And as a parent of 2 current college students, those parents out here that are in my boat know what we're talking about, because college is really expensive. And so this is something to help support our students. This was a goal that we started quite a long time ago, and you can see that we've really increased the number of AP tests taken. We've also increased the number of 3s, 4s, and 5s that have been earned, and 3s, 4s, and 5s are what earn you college credit. So we're very proud of our students. It's a great way to earn credit while getting the support while you're still in high school. We also have 22 blended learning courses. This is something that we were really gaining momentum on before COVID, and then nobody wanted to do any type of remote learning for a while after that, and it's making its way back. But what blended learning is where students don't have a class every single day. Maybe they meet 2 or 3 times a week, and then they do work outside of class. It's the same curriculum as the students who are meeting every day, but the benefit is it gives them a little taste of what maybe a college class will look like. It's not meant for everyone, but many of our students do like it. And we encourage them to really think about, is this going to be the best way for you to learn? So it's a way for them to test things out, because virtual sounds really good until you're in a virtual class and you hate it. So this is a good way to get that experience and see if it's a good fit before you get to college as well. I want to talk a little bit about our focus, because most high schools are beginning or have been focusing on work-based learning to a certain extent. I think, though, we at Joliet Township are farther than many schools. So the POWER Act went into effect in the 2015-16 school year, and it really focuses on the partnership between businesses and communities and giving students more opportunities to apply their skills in the workplace environment. One of the things that we're striving to do, and this is part of our strategic plan with the objectives, is by 2027, every student will have a post-secondary plan. The goal is high school graduation, but it's not the goal. The goal is high school education so that you can be successful at the next step. And so we want to ask kids, what do you want to do? Not, what do you want to take? Those are 2 very different questions. What do you want to take? If you want to take foods because you like to eat, that's not a good reason. If you want to take foods because you're thinking you might want to go into culinary arts, like our phenomenal students that you saw tonight, that's a good reason. Everybody needs to eat. but not everybody needs to learn how to cook the food and serve the food, as an example. So we really want to start changing that conversation. One of the things that makes Joliet Township High School unique is we are a comprehensive high school. Many of you might have heard of Wilco, which is a phenomenal program. We don't use Wilco because we have our classes in-house. We have 50 CTE courses, we have 50 certified teachers in the area of career and technical education, and last year, throughout their schedule, we had over 4,040 seats being taken and directed to career and technical education. This is an awesome opportunity. You're going to hear about Project Lead the Way tonight and some other classes from our students. Those are career-focused classes. I know a couple of our students want to go into biomedical. We have biomedical pathway for students. And so those are just some of the examples and the focus that we have here. Our auto labs, our welding labs. We do send some students to JJC for certain classes, but most of our CTE classes are housed right here in both of our campuses, and we're really, really proud of that. If you want to learn more about our career endorsements and our career opportunities, please use this link to check out our course offerings guide. And again, if you have any questions, please ask, call a counselor. We can walk you through that, because as a parent, it can be overwhelming when you're trying to help your student determine what they're going to take. And it should really be directed and related to what they want to do in the future. A couple other classes that I just want to highlight. This is very exciting. How many of you like math? Raise your hand. That's pretty good. How many of you don't like math? Okay, everybody needs to like math, okay? Everybody has to have a basic understanding of math, or you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage, and you're not going to be able to know if the sales tax is right when you're buying something. All of that is really important. It's also really important if you want to go into the trades. And going into the trades is a really, really great way to make a living and support a family as the wife of a carpenter. So it's something that I want to impress upon everyone, because one of the biggest obstacles for individuals who want to get into apprenticeship programs is the basic skills math test. So we have to encourage students to engage in math, to understand math, especially if they want to go into certain areas. So one of the ways we're trying to do that is we have a new course this year, Amped on Algebra. It's a co-taught class. It's the algebra curriculum. It's co-taught between a business teacher and a math teacher. It is a cost to the district for a co-teaching situation, but what we're trying to do is engage students that might not think they like math or need to know math. Because many math teachers get, why do I need to know this? This is why you need to know this. And so this is our first semester with it, and we are seeing success with students, and we're really, really excited about that. Next year, and you do not need to take Amped on Algebra to take Geometry and Construction, but Geometry and Construction is the geometry curriculum paired with woods. And you need to know how to do math if you want to cut a roof, or if you want to know where studs should be placed. So this is very important information, and we're really looking forward to this being launched next year. And again, this is co-taught again. Next, I want to introduce one of our first partners to come up and talk about a really exciting partnership between our community and Joliet Township High School. So Cornell, Lurie, there you are. Cornell is a community partner. He's also a proud alum, and he's going to talk a little bit about the CEO program.
Thank you, Dr. Goose.
Do you want this, or you want me to have it?
You want to take that?
Sure, I'll take it. Partnership.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cornell Lurie. Actually, as Dr. Guzman mentioned, I am an alumni. I think I've got a picture or two somewhere on the walls somewhere there. I don't know if it's back in 1950, 60, or 70. You might have to find out by checking it out. But being an alumni from here, this is a program that we're very excited about launching this fall for the students. The CEO program is called Creating Entrepreneurial Opportunities. Across the country, it's 70 of these actual programs throughout 10 states, 320 high schools. As far west as Utah, far north is Minnesota, far southeast is Florida, and far east is Ohio. And in Illinois, we have 47 of these CEO programs, and we're very fortunate now to have this opportunity for this program to be launching in Will County in one of the first. Last year, in 23, it was the program launched in Kankakee with their high school, and it's done tremendously well. So what is the CEO? Creating entrepreneurial opportunities. It's a way where now what we can do is engage and immerse our students directly with our businesses, our local communities. It helps the students understand, and also the businesses can be exposed to the actual students. It instills an entrepreneurial mindset. It inspires our youth to think about the future and actually being in business, not just employees, but employers within our community, and also becoming thought leaders. So let's talk a little bit. I know I've only got a few minutes, but I'm very passionate about this. But the CEO program instills an entrepreneurial mindset. How does that happen? It's a year-round course. It's throughout the full school year. Within each semester, the first semester, the students will launch and operate a class business. The second semester, they'll be able to use their ideation, business plan, and selling, similar to what you see with the Shark Tank, and have their own individual business in the second semester. The results for the program speak for themselves. The CEO inspires the next generation of business and thought leaders to live, work, raise families, and start businesses in our local communities, and the numbers speak resoundingly. It helps transform the students, but also not just the 21st century skill set, but also engaging through real life experiences with the businesses to truly understand what it takes to run a business. As actually Dr. Guzman mentioned a little earlier, you might be able to bake a cake, but can you manage the business so you can sell the cakes? It also helps from the entrepreneurs, but also make them intrapreneurs. So that's a really unique engagement piece there. And then ultimately, this helps better align the business network with our local communities and business owners. Talk a little bit about the numbers. You can see here the pre and post impact survey results show how many of this, the big question is, how do the students or how do our youth stay in our community? What keeps them back, returning back to home? Before the program launches, it's 10 to 20% pre-impact, and then 65 to 75% post-impact. That's a significant amount, and that number has been increasing as the program is actually engaging further throughout other states as well. The essentials. Dr. Guzman talked a little bit about the Joliet Township High School strategic plan and some of the workforce-based programs that we have here. This falls right in line and complements directly with the other activities and initiatives. You can see it's a course, it's a full school year. It's for seniors currently. It's 90 minutes daily. They do receive 2 credit-hour credits, and also it's graded. We'll start out with 20 students, 10 from each, 10 from Central and 10 from West, and then it actually could potentially increase, but we have 1 staff facilitator, no prerequisites, 35 businesses at minimum. This gives the opportunity, again, as we mentioned, it's actually daily, the students meet, but once a week, they'll be able to take entrepreneurial site visits. This is where our business community can expose our youth to what type of business they have, but also building a pipeline. So the nuts and bolts to it. The youth, they're the fuel because we want to help them assist with their dreams. But it's really the nuts and bolts as our community leaders and our community-driven partners to help the CEO program really launch and move forward with the journey and also the support. What I'd like to do at this time is if we can have some of our members, we have members from our steering committee and also our advisory board. Would you mind standing? Please, we'd like for you all to speak with them and learn more about the program. We're very excited again with our board and our participants and also our committed investors. Some of our investors that help get us to the point where we're launching this program is Ace Boring and Excavating LLC, Busey Bank, Darcy Buick and Darcy Hyundai, Joliet Junior College, Joliet Township Government, National Hookup of Black Women, and also Midland States Bank. But there's many others, Home National Bank, M&M Bank, and many of you in the room also. So we look forward to taking this to the next steps and launching this fall. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank Cornell. Without his leadership and desire to make this happen in Joliet, it wouldn't happen. He really brought this to us. He has carved time out to work to get this off the ground running, and he continues to be an outstanding partner. So if we could give him a round of applause. This diagram just really shows our continuum of work-based learning experiences. We start with research, we start with job shadowing, we have career fairs, we have guest speakers. So we send kids out, we bring people in. This type of capstone course is something we're looking for in all of our career pathways. And then as culminating events, we're looking to place students in the workforce in internship opportunities. And so I'm not going to steal his thunder because Doug is more than willing to talk about this himself. But I want to thank the CED for their leadership and guidance in this area. And Doug Pryor from the CED is going to talk about the Will County internship program that is launching this summer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Doug Pryor. I'm with the Will County Center for Economic Development, and I want to thank Dr. Guzman for asking me to come here and speak briefly tonight about the Will County Internship Program. You know, we've been incredibly lucky in Will County. We've seen a lot of growth in terms of economic development and jobs. In fact, over the last 20 years, we've added more jobs here in Will County than anywhere else in the state. But if you're a kid growing up here, you don't know what goes on inside those walls. You don't know what those opportunities are. And as we look around and see Will County, like a lot of other suburban communities, losing the students that we put so much effort and energy and training into to other communities, we need to seek opportunities to find pathways to keep them here, bring them back. And that's what this internship program is all about. On the wall behind me, because I didn't push the button Carla's pushing, you see the list of the companies that have joined us in this first year of this program. These companies deserve an extraordinary amount of credit for, frankly, taking a risk, coming with us when we said, we will deliver you the students, we will deliver these opportunities, and we will help make connections to bring people back. A lot of credit goes to Dr. Guzman. This is something we've been wanting to do at the CED for years. Carla raised her hand and said, I will help you. I will help you deliver this project. This board said, we will help you deliver this project. And frankly, the students and the opportunities at JTHS make me sure this will be a success. Right now we have 28 companies on board, 41 all paid internships for JTHS students for the summer of 2024. And I can't thank enough the companies that worked on this. I have to say Kayla Sorensen in my office, who has been the engine that has connected the companies and made this happen. And for the students that are here tonight, we want to help you take advantage of these opportunities. You still have until the 16th, next Friday, to apply for these, and then the companies will start doing interviews. Please apply. My understanding is we already have over 150 applications, so thank you to the staff at the school and the students and the parents who have put in the energy to do this. All the students who are going to speak tonight, Mr. Tyrrell, go to South Bend, come home. We'll make the connections for you. Thank you.
So at this time next year, we want to be celebrating the success of all the students that led the way for Will County with our internships. So thank you, Doug. We're going to hear from our next student, Mateo Adeo.
Hello, I'm Mateo Adello. I'm currently a senior at Julius Central High School. There are a lot of things I love about Julius Central High School. One of the most amazing things to me is just the amount of diversity and the ability to gain so many unique perspectives from so many people. Just really influences everyone and makes the community and the school such a great and safe place. Also the ability just to connect with, from staff members to people to even like some of my friends, it's just such, it makes one feel like you're at home and you're in a safe community. And then, okay, so I want to talk about myself for a little bit. My senior and community involvement is I'm in boys volleyball, so I'm going on my 3rd year. It starts in March. I'm in the Science National Honor Society. I'm in the Social Studies National Honor Society. I was the girls volleyball manager this past season. That was at the first slide. It was me at the Pink Heels game. And I was a student of the month for Rotary, and I'm also an AP Scholar with honor. But something that I'm very proud of that is not listed is hopefully I'm on track to graduate with my associate's degree from JJC when I graduate high school. I just want to open the doors for a lot of students who come from Julius Central and just show them that it's possible to do this. But my plans for the future is I hopefully will attend Lewis or Loyola for my bachelor's degree in psychology, and then further continue my master's and doctorate in clinical psychology. And finally, my advice for incoming freshmen is never give up your hopes and dreams and never try to be someone that you are not. Giving up your hopes and dreams is a hard thing to get back, so never give them up and never try to be someone you are not, because you are losing a little part of yourself and your uniqueness every time you try to be someone you're not. Thank you.
So dual credit and AP are pretty amazing, right, Mateo? So thank you so much. So I would next like to invite Dr. Hampton to talk about district finances.
Good evening to everyone. You're hearing a lot about the great programs that we have and opportunities for students, and there's more to come. But as you know, in order for these opportunities to occur, you need money, right? So we do pride ourselves here at Joliet in being financially responsible in what we do. So what you'll hear are some things associated with our finances. So first and foremost, our financial profile is at a 3.9 out of a 4. This is a score that is given by the State Board of Education for every school district in Illinois. So that is excellent when it comes to our rating. The second part to that is a certificate of excellence. This is our 36th year receiving this recognition, and it's for accounting principles associated with our business office and the things that we do there. And then the third part is just like individually you have credit scores, school districts have credit scores. This is part of our financial health. And as you can see, this is the 4th highest rating, which basically means if we ever have to borrow money, we receive the lower interest rates versus the higher interest rates. So we're doing great financially as a district, and we would like to continue that. The next few slides we'll go through is just some information that we normally share with the board year to year. And what you see here is just revenues by object, and you'll see that the majority of our revenue comes from local property taxes. The second highest is the state, and then the federal government. And then you'll see on the right side are the fund sources. Evidence-based funding, we call it EBF. This started back in 2017. For decades, the state of Illinois has tried to find a way to close the gap financially with districts of lower income versus wealthier districts. So finally in 2017, A group got together, came up with a rubric to determine how can we start to close this financial gap for districts, low income, special ed population, and EL population, because a lot of times there are greater needs associated with districts of those demographics. So $350 million allocated. There's a scoring system, and out of that scoring system you're tiered, with tier 1 being the most need, tier 4 being the less need. So for the past 6 years, we were tier 1, and now we're tier 2. And if you look on here, we have what we call an 82% adequacy. The goal is to get to 100% funding. When we first started, we were at 68%. So we have made significant gains in closing that financial gap so that we can give more opportunities to our students. The second part of this is how we spend the money. As you can see, the majority of our expenditures come from salaries and benefits. That's any governmental public education entity. It's people, right? Your teachers, your support staff, custodians, transportation, bus drivers, administrators, you name it, are all part of this. So we're roughly 69%, which is normally the norm, somewhere between 65 to 75% of any budget, salaries and benefits. The next part to that is just, this is what our fund balance is. So what you see is a trajectory going upward, and that's what you want to see, right? Is that we're still moving in a good path financially. So as we segue into other parts of the district, we get into our master plan. So essentially a master plan is a roadmap, and we call it a dynamic roadmap, right? Where we come in and assess all of our facilities and our needs. And with that, we met quite a few times over about a year to a year and a half with various stakeholders, a lot of conversations regarding the needs of the district. And what we came up with was a master facilities plan. And as you can see, the different categories associated with where we were with the master facilities plan, these are the areas that really encompassed how we came up with this document. This document is over 150 pages. What you're seeing tonight is a very, very small summary and synopsis of what that is. The full presentation was given to the Board of Education, which was approved this past fall, and we are full steam ahead with our master facilities plan. And so with that, what you see here, we kind of put it in what we call 8 phases. Broken out by needs, responsibilities, priorities. In each campus, priorities are different. And all of this information came out of the full assessment of the master facilities plan. And so from that, we then developed a budget based on those 8 areas. And I will tell you, total costs of this, over $300 million. The last time we had a full master facilities plan was over 20 years ago. So it was time for another one. And this becomes, again, our roadmap for the future. Part of my job is to, how do we fund this $300 million, right? So the board has heard numerous times from me different funding opportunities that I will be presenting at this month's board meeting on how we can start to fund this. And right now, based on what we have, we're probably going to get through the first 4 phases over the next 5 years, but we'll continue to develop that plan. Another part of the assessment is we conducted a traffic study at each campus. So we're talking about the traffic flow, we're talking about parking spaces, we're talking about all of the things associated with all of the traffic, from buses to parent drop-offs to walking to parking, right? And so what you see here is the results of the traffic study, and this is west. So you see the different arrows in terms of the traffic flow for buses, which are in green. Blue is the parent drop-off, and then red is we're going to create this walking path for students. And then on the other side there, at the front of the building, we are going to expand that area. If you ever go into that door one and trying to get in and out, it's very tight. So that area would be widened. And we're going to have more parking. And then we will also have an exit off the main entrance there onto Larkin, where you only can make a right turn. In addition to that, we will be able to realize about another 84 parking spaces. So there is potentially another phase that's in discussion, but we can't reveal that until we know more information where we can capture more parking. But there will be 84 more parking spaces here at West. And then at Central, for the most part, everything was pretty good, except for their main entrance where you see in blue towards the bottom. And if you're ever at Central and you go through the roundabout, coming out and making a right-hand turn is very difficult. So this summer, along with what you saw at West, we will start construction where we can cut out for a right turn coming out of Central, and that's going to help alleviate the bottleneck that happens there. So this is all part of what we call phase one that will be occurring this summer. Here, this is part of phase one at Central, and it's the link that we're speaking of when we talk about the bridge, and there's a lot of congestion there, so probably the #1 priority for Central. And so with that, we do have drawings and plans of what that will look like with the new addition as we tear down that link. It's going to be a 2-story link where we're attaching the old to the new, similar to what we did with the Student Center. This is the current view at Central when you go through the bridge. And then these are just plans, and I'll kind of go through these pretty quick, of just the first level with some renderings of what it may look like. And then the second level with renderings of what that may look like. So what you see there is the old, that would be the restoration that we're talking about in association with that addition at Central. What I also add to our phase one is this summer we are renovating our culinary spaces. We also will be bringing turf to our softball and baseball fields. And then there will be some things associated with things that people don't see, our heating, ventilation, air conditioning, cooling, right? But also, we will be bringing air conditioning to the main gym here at West this summer, so that's much needed. So it's a lot of great projects happening this summer, and you'll see and learn about more as we move through the next few years. Thank you.
I played basketball in that gym way back in the 90s, and it's just as hot. So we're really, really thankful for improving the air conditioning in the main gym. Thank you, Dr. Hampton. We are going to hear from another student. Lorna goes to Pathways. Pathways is one of our programs that is across the street from Central. As I shared earlier, we have 2 very large campuses with approximately 3,300 kids in each. That's not always conducive to every student. And so Pathways is a smaller setting, and there's 2 main programs. We have a program for students with special services, and then we also have a program for students in regular education. And so Lorna is going to share her high school experiences, so I invite Lorna to come up.
Hello everyone, I'm so excited to be here and be the first student ambassador of Pathways Academy. Thanks to Mrs. Schultzman, thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna be discussing what I love about Pathways Academy first. What I love about Pathways Academy is how I was given a second opportunity to flourish in the school after experiencing difficult times because of COVID. I finally felt included in a community I related to in my junior year. Teachers and staff guide you throughout your academic journey with dedication and patience. Students in classrooms form a foundation of mutual respect and understanding by providing a supportive space and creating strong bonds. A student's sense of belonging matters, and Pathways Academy accommodates to that by creating an inclusive environment for every student. Pathways Academy is not just a school, it's a community that supports, strengthens, and believes in the potential of every student. Some of the plans for my future is to attend the Joliet Junior College and take prerequisites required to enroll into the JJC Vet Tech program. I would then take the VTNE National Board exam and hopefully pass and become a veterinary technician. For my community involvement, I volunteer to serve community hours for the Joliet Public Library and Hopeful Tales Animal Shelter, helping both maintain a sanitary and organized environment. For my school involvement, I have created flyers to inform others in my school about important future events. I am also a part of the art club for Pathways Academy. For my work experience, I am currently employed at McDonald's, where I develop my work ethic and improve my communication skills with customer service. Now, for my advice for incoming freshmen would be to get involved into extracurriculars, because you will regret it if you do not get involved. Seriously, I'm one of those people. Most importantly, to make connections and surround yourself with people who make you happy. And be you, and remember that there's something inside of you greater than any obstacle.
Our next area is safety and security, and Dr. Hampton's going to come up and just share some information. But before we begin, I do want to address another issue that I think is a community issue that we can all work on together. I first want to thank the Joliet City Council and Police Department, who has really put a focus on the sale of vaping to paraphernalia and vape cartridges to underage or to minors, because this is a big problem. Over the last couple years, we have had to have several fire drills that were unplanned because of vaping and smoking in bathrooms. And so we're in the process of changing out our sensors across the campus. We have more newer sensors that were ordered in January, and our plan is to change all of those out, because a safety and security risk is when you have to evacuate 4,000 individuals out of a building and get them back in, especially when it's raining and snowing or other weather conditions. So one of the things that we're going to incorporate is some more education on vaping, as well as some more interventions when students bring those things into our schools. But as you know, we've had to at times, and still do, have to shut bathrooms at West Campus. There's 3 currently that are shut because we had to evacuate 3 times in the matter of 6 days. So we do have a plan in place. We are going to work out that plan, but we need everybody's help to help ensure the safety and security of the long-term health of our students, as well as while they're here on a daily basis. So please talk about vaping and the dangers, and that it's not allowed in our schools with your students. We'd really, really appreciate that. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hampton.
As Dr. Guzman was talking about safety and security, one of the things I always like to say is it's all of our responsibility, right? Students, staff, community. But with that, we are aware that each individual entity must do some things in regards to safety and security. It's unfortunate that we see things that happen in society and around us, but we also have to be cognizant that we have to do things to help everyone feel and be safe and secure. And that also starts with the human capital and associated with this. So we have 45 full-time security, we have 5-time cafe monitors, we have 3 JPD police SROs, we have a director of safety and security. With some of the safety and equipment, we have 36 defibrillators. One provision under Illinois statute this year is that we have Narcan on hand, and that's to make sure that if there's some things associated with an opioid overdose, that we can give medicine to a student, staff, or any other individual. We also have what we call Stop the Bleed, which is a trauma kit to assist us. And then new this year, we did some upgrades to our security system that will allow them to continue to talk. And this is what we call a Vigilance system software platform. And it allows us to upgrade our door access contacts, to talk with our video surveillance system, and communicate as one. So if someone opens up a door, we can now be alerted that a door is open or propped. We can control those door contacts, which we wasn't able to do at first. And if you did try this years ago, it was millions and millions of dollars because everything had to be hardwired. But because of technology now and wireless capabilities, those prices have come down significantly. And so now you're seeing districts implement more of these types of equipment throughout the district. So along with that, you'll see also that we the other types of things that we have, from security vehicles to metal detectors, two-way radios. We implemented the Blue Point alert system about 4 years ago. We have the Rapture system. And then, of course, the more important thing is training our staff. So all of our staff are trained on all of these systems, along with some of the other things that you see on the slide. Along with that, we also have the Emergency Operations and Crisis Response. So these are a lot of the partnerships with entities within our community. So we have NISA, we have the Will County School Safety Task Force, and we all come together to make sure we're on the same page in terms of how we will respond to crisis situations and making sure we're speaking the same language. I was talking with Ed, our Director of Safety and Security. Some of the protocols we have now in schools, the language is changing. And so we will be having some training over the summer with our staff and our students with some of these codes that we currently have that are now being changed throughout the state and the country. And I would say, if you don't remember anything else related to safety and security, one thing I want you to always remember and spread the word is, if you see something, say something. Thank you.
This is a great opportunity to just point out one of our partners who is here tonight, the Joliet Fire Department, who is a great partner in doing training and community partnerships, and we look to expand this in the future. But the Joliet Fire Department has helped us out with doing training with our students and also doing training with staff. Also, we have a great relationship with the Joliet Police Department, as well as our Sunder schools. I know the directors of safety and security from both Troy and District 86 are here tonight. And just as I meet with our superintendent partners, our safety partners meet together too, and they're really leading the work in this area. And others are looking towards what we're doing in our schools to really replicate in that in theirs. So thank you for those partnerships. So next, we get to hear from Morgan Pork, who is a student at Joliet West.
Hello, and as our superintendent said, my name is Morgan Pork, and I'm a senior here at Joliet West.
I just want to start off by saying what I love most about my school. On the academic side, there are so many programs for every student. I've had the honor of being a part of the honors, advanced placement, and dual credit programs, but there's also trades, the PLTW, and English as a second language programs. There's a program for any student here that has any need, and the staff is always there to help out with anything. On the athletic side, I've had the opportunity to participate in sports for all 4 years. The coaches and teammates make it feel like a second home for anybody who's willing to participate. And also, our staff is always emphasizing how important it is to be a student athlete. They make sure all of our athletes are never overwhelmed with anything, and they always know what their responsibilities are and help them to take care of them. West has shown me what it means to be a part of my community and participate in something bigger than myself. My involvement with the school is I have been a 4-year varsity cheerleader and a 4-year varsity track athlete, and with track I had the honor of participating in the IHSA state competition and making school history while medaling in our 4x4. I am also an inducted member in the National Honor Society, and I participate in service opportunities every month to stay connected within my community. I also have the honor of being part of the Rho Kappa National Honor Society, which is the Social Studies Honor Society, along with the Moy Alpha Theta Honor Society, which is our school's math honor society. My plans for the future is to attend university and major in neuroscience, and I also aspire to continue my track career at the collegiate level. My advice for incoming freshmen is to always connect with new people. Coming in, everyone is just as scared as you are. Be the one to reach out and make new friends first. You also want to balance your personal life with academics. You never want to stay too focused on school and overwhelm yourself, but you also want to make sure while you're at school to be here and make sure that you are doing everything you need to succeed. And lastly, I want everyone to savor their time in high school. I know personally that time flies, and before you know it, you're going to be getting ready to graduate and planning on what you need to do next. Savor the experience and do everything in your power to make high school as enjoyable as you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. One of the last areas that I want to hit on very, very quickly is just where we're at with human resources. We talked about our financial resources, well, our human capital or human resources. We can't do what we do without our staff, and they're phenomenal. One of the issues that most schools are facing, especially after COVID, is the filling of all positions. While we're in a pretty good place with certified positions, we do have classified positions that are not full. And so that is an area that we really would like to continue to recruit. I know we have our human resources here tonight. We're out at job fairs, careers. This is a great place to work. If you know of somebody who's interested in being a bus driver or a paraprofessional, have them come talk to us because those are two areas of need. When we talk about certified positions, I think this is something that should be troubling to all of us. And so we really are looking to encourage our current students to think about a pathway to education. It's a noble profession. It's profoundly important, and you really get to make a huge difference every day. And this is an area where we need more individuals going into pre-education programs. When you look at this, it's almost doubled in 6 years, the number of unfilled positions within the state. That's not a good place to be in, and so it is of concern. The good news is Joliet Township High School is in a better place than many schools, but we still currently have 4 unfilled certified positions. Most of these positions are due to late resignations or things that have occurred during the school year and where people have retired or resigned. So this isn't a huge problem right now, but it could get worse. And so we are going to be doing staffing soon. We'll be posting positions soon. We do that in mid-March.
So if you know individuals that are looking to get into education, again, this is a wonderful place to work, but this is something that we're always cognizant of and we really, really need to focus. The good news is, part of our data shows we have a really high retention rate of staff. So this is data from the Illinois the Illinois State Board of Education website. And as you can see, we continue to outperform the state when it comes to retention with our certified positions. So that's really, really good news and something to celebrate. When we talk about our strategic plan, strategy 1, which was the old strategy 6, if you were part of the previous strategic plan, really focuses on equitable educational opportunities. One of the components of the previous plan and current plan is that we want to increase the number of individuals that are represented of our students. And so we really are looking to recruit more staff of color to our district. I'll show data in a minute that shows we've been able to do that. However, one of the problems is that the number, or I should say the percentage of licensed individuals in the state is very small when you're talking about our Hispanic and Black certified staff. And so this is something that we look to improve upon within Joliet Township High School with our current students so they come back and teach for us. Because again, this is a great place to raise a family and it's a great place to work and send your own kids. When we look at our data in this area, you can see in the last few years, we are hiring, and this is specific to our certified staff, so teachers, administrators, deans, counselors, anyone with a license. We have been hiring a higher percentage of staff of color, and so that is fantastic because it's really important for our staff, which is majority students of color, to see models in front of them that represent them. And so that will continue to be a goal. And also, it is so important to have all the different experiences and perspectives at the table because we learn from each other and our different experiences. That's one of the reasons that I want to send my kids to Joliet Township High School because they get to know how to navigate society, they get to know how to have empathy, and they can apply that knowledge when they go out and tackle the world like all of our other students. This is our information about our classified staff demographically. So demographically, our classified staff is slightly more representative of our student population, but we'd also like that to grow as well. So just some data that is associated with our strategy 1, and we update the Board of Education every February with this information as well. So our next student, Sharada Verma, is going to share her story.
Hi, my name is Sharada Verma, and I'm a senior at Joliet West High School. I feel so lucky that I have the opportunity to share some of my favorite things about attending Joliet West. Coming into Joliet West as an 8th grader, I thought this school was huge and that I was no way I was going to find any friends. But what I'm struck by is the strong community that I found. I'm also incredibly grateful for the supportive teachers who have always prioritized my education and success, and also my mental health. There are also incredible opportunities to develop leadership skills that are throughout the entire building. There are also classes that have helped me learn about future careers and expand my knowledge, such as the PLTW classes, which Dr. Guzman was talking about earlier. I'm also incredibly grateful for the Tiger Pride that is in our hallways. Some of my favorite memories are from attending basketball games at our school. For my school involvement, I have been on the varsity tennis and badminton team. I am also president of Joliet West Ski Club and also hold a position on the Illinois and Eastern Iowa District Board. I am a board member for Academy Roundtable, a health medicine and human services organization. We recently received a grant from the Joliet Township, so thank you for that. I also volunteer at Ascension St. Joseph in the emergency department, and I have been doing so for the past 3 years. With the Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy, we renovated the Tiger Tots courtyard this past summer. For the National Honor Society, I serve as vice president. I'm also involved in the junior and senior class committee. My plans for the future is to attend Northwestern University, where I plan on majoring in biomedical engineering. I hope to pick up a minor in Spanish. After that, I hope to attend medical school and become a doctor. My advice for incoming freshmen is to put yourself out there and step outside of your comfort zone. You never know who you'll meet. And also, because time is so valuable, it's important to prioritize things that make you happy, not what you think you should be doing. Thank you for your time.
I think all of our students that have talked so far deserve a round of applause. As I shared earlier, we do have one addition, so I thank everybody for your grace and patience in staying a little longer this evening. And this is really the last portion of our event this evening, and we are going to hear from a couple more students. Tonight, we are awarding the Michael Austin Clark MLK Day Community Service Award and scholarships. As I stated earlier, this was planned for the MLK Day of Service, which is another outstanding event that we will hopefully not have a weather problem next year and bring back. But I want to tell you a little bit about Mike. Mike Clark was a selfless, dedicated, and kind servant leader who generously gave his time, talents, and treasure to make our schools and community the best they could be. Mike led with fierce determination and compassion. He was an advocate for those who did not always have a voice or a seat at the table. He was a true champion of equity and inclusion who led through action. Mike was humble, and his leadership was never about himself, a rare attribute not often seen. Mike was bigger than life. His smile, infectious laugh, and honest candor were just a few of the attributes that contributed to his leadership because he was relatable and passionate, never giving up on his vision of what our schools and communities could and will become if we all work together, seeking to understand root causes and systemic obstacles. Mike believed in working together to serve and uplift our neighbors, our sisters, our brothers, and all of our children. I first met Mike when we sat next to each other at a JTHS strategic plan when it was reopened in 2015. And we worked to create Strategy 6, which is now our Strategy 1. I also sat next to Mike 2 summers ago when we launched another strategic plan. I learned that Mike could be a challenger and an ally at the same time, and I really appreciated that about him. We could have a vigorous, and I mean vigorous, debate in one moment and laugh over lunch 15 minutes later. He was one of the most genuine individuals I've ever met. Above all, Mike just did the work and was so very humble. Mike was a fierce supporter of our entire school district. But do not be mistaken, he was a Joliet West alum, through and through. It is fitting that we are at Joliet West this evening because if Mike was here, he would certainly have found the opportunity to share West is best. I think it's also fitting that his family, who said they didn't coordinate, all are wearing matching clothes this evening. Mike was a member of the Joliet Region Education Community Connectors Group, a founding member of the Joliet Region Interfaith Education Council, and contributor to the MLK Day of Service since the event's inception. Mike was instrumental in the development of the Problem-Solving Circle initiative at JTHS, where we reduced our expulsions from over 120 to closer to 20 each year. Other multiple educational initiatives as well, including Bring Your A Game events for African American males. When COVID closed the doors of our schools and graduation had to be held virtually, Mike stepped in to make sure that virtual graduation was a success, serving as a reader of graduate names and sharing his wisdom with the senior class. Mike always challenged us, and he always spoke with honesty, but he always spoke with respect. Words really cannot give justice to Mike's service to JTHS, and to say that he is greatly missed is truly an understatement. Mike remains a model of a person we should all strive to be. At this time, I would like to invite Christine Schlishman, Erica Williams, members of the Clark and Brass families, and scholarship contributors to the podium for the presentation of awards and scholarships.
Thank you, Dr. Guzman. As MLK Day of Service chairs, it was important for Erica and I to honor Mike's dedication to the community, particularly at the MLK Day of Service, because Mike was so instrumental in establishing this event from the very beginning 17 years ago. Mike always showed up early, usually carrying a bunch of drinks, donated snacks, and he really did anything that we told him to do to make the event a success. That's just who Mike was. You could always count on Mike. And MLK Day will never be the same without him, but this is why it was so important for us to establish the Michael Austin Clark MLK Day Community Leader Award and scholarships. Mike will always be present in spirit at the MLK Day of Service, as he is tonight in his beautiful Joliet West High School. While we honor those who demonstrate Mike's love of community, particularly through acts of service. We begin first with the presentation of the 2024 Michael Austin Clark Community Leader Award to Gabriel Lozano. Gabe, please join me at the podium. It is truly my pleasure to tell you just how amazing Gabe is and how deserving he is of this award. Right? She knows. Gabriel Lozano is an accomplished entertainer and DJ here in the Chicagoland area. Once a Joliet West student from the class of 2010, go Tigers, and the Joliet Township Steelman soccer captain, Gabriel loves to return to his hometown to participate in charity and family events, and he has donated his talents at the MLK Day of Service for 3 years. And let me tell you, he truly brings the fun. I don't think the MLK Day of Service would be the same without you, so thank you for that. Gabriel currently holds the position as the Chicago Bulls pregame host and concourse DJ, which has allowed him to give back through Bulls charity and bring joy to kids all throughout Chicago. He is also a host and DJ for the Chicago Bears, where he has worked for the Bears Care charity and has traveled to Europe on multiple occasions to help build the Chicago Bears brand. He is in his 3rd year DJing and volunteering for the Alzheimer's Association and has spent time working with the Special Olympics of Illinois. For all these reasons and so much more, it is our honor to present you with the Michael Austin Clark Community Leadership Award.
Well, the first things first is just seeing Michael's family up here and seeing how important he was to this community, and those are some really, really big shoes to fill. In no way, shape, or form do you do volunteer work or charity work for an award like this. You do it undercover, to be honest. You know, I truly believe that God had gifted me with a source of energy that I can break the ice in a room and make people feel tons of joy. So if, you know, I do it for work. I have to do it for people who, need it, who need that joy. So I'm just very proud to be up here speaking to you all and to be able to represent, one of the first awards for this. I thank you all for being here and thank you all for this recognition. Thank you so much.
Along with the Community Leader Award, it was also important to us that we recognize students who have gone above and beyond in the demonstration of community service because Mike was dedicated to our youth. Thanks to the generosity of the Brass and Clark family and Nassau Brass, the African American Business Association under the leadership of President Chris Parker and Mike's college friend Dion Hornsby, who is also a proud West alum. We're able to award $2,000 scholarships to two very deserving students. I invite our 2024 Michael Austin Clark MLK Day Scholarship recipients, Joliet Central Senior Angela Avoyer and Joliet West Senior Elijah Jones to the podium. As part of the application process, we ask students to produce a short video providing details about their community service and answering the question of why community service is important to them. We had so many amazing students apply, but Angela and Elijah were selected based on their expression of passion for serving the community. Along with their demonstration of service, after the awards presentation, along with their demonstration of service, we will have the opportunity to hear from Angela and Elijah themselves as they share their high school experience and their role as student ambassadors.
It is our privilege to present this award to you.
Elijah and Angela, it is our honor to present the 2024 Michael Austin Clark Community Scholarship Award.
We want to thank our family and our scholarship contributors for coming up, and you can be seated because I know you've been standing up here, but thank you for supporting our students in our community, and we're going to hear from our students.
Good evening. Hello, my name is Elijah Jones, and I'm a senior here at Joliet West High School. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Ms. Slishman for allowing me to talk at this event today. Something I love about this school is the many opportunities it's given me to not only grow as a person, but also a student as well. I'm very grateful and thankful for all the teachers and coaches I've had these past 4 years who have all made an impact on my life in one way or another. I admire the history and awards and all the plaques that surround these halls that inspire me every day as a student athlete to just better myself, not only in my academics, but also my athletics, to one day hopefully have my picture up there as well. Some school involvement and community involvement. I run varsity track and cross country here the past 2 years, and I've also been a captain of both teams both years. I volunteer a lot with my church, Crossroads Christian Church, this past winter helping out at the Woodland Elementary School annual Christmas gift drive, which gave back to students and families in need during Christmas. I also volunteered at the JTHS sports camp over the summer, which was a really fun time connecting with kids through sports. But my biggest achievement in high school, I have to say, is winning the Mike Lawson Clark Award, which was just a great honor and proved to my community service work. My plans for after graduating in May is to attend Lewis or Grand Valley State, where I'll continue my running ambitions, as well as majoring in biomedical sciences with a minor in education. From there, I will get my master's degree in physician assistant studies to later on become a licensed PA. My advice for incoming freshmen is to join a sport or club and also just be where your feet are. These are going to be the fastest 4 years of your life, but also the most memorable. So just make every moment last and continue to have fun. Thank you.
I just wanted to preface this by saying thank you again to Ms. Listman for allowing me to speak today, and thank you to the Clark family for presenting me this award this year. I'm very grateful and very thankful for what you have done. To start off, what I love about Joliet Central. Well, to start off, my name is Angela Ivor, and I'm a senior at Joliet Central. What I love about Joliet Central is its ability to create a sense of belonging. Central is so diverse, not only in people, but in ideas, interest, values, and so many other things as well. I can wholeheartedly say that no matter how niche you may think your hobbies are, there will always be a place for you. I have abundant interests that differ in so many ways, but I've never had to worry about whether Central would be able to provide an outlet for all my passions. The staff is committed to making sure the needs of the students are met, and I am forever grateful for all those sacrifices they've made to make sure we succeed as a student body. The beauty of acceptance at Joliet Central can shape the values of myself, my peers, and future generations to come. When it comes to my school and community involvement, I am proud to say that I am the president of the Science National Honor Society, vice president of Key Club, which basically specializes in community service. I've been a part of the volleyball team for 3 years, been an active member in President's Club and Senior Class Committee, and have completed over 200 hours of community service. I am grateful to say that I can also add the fact that I am the Michael Austin Clark Scholarship Award recipient this year as well. As for my plans for the future, I intend on going to the University of Chicago as an economics major with a specialization in data science in hopes of becoming a business analyst. When it comes to any advice I have for incoming freshmen, I would just say that you should use your electives and clubs provided to your advantage. High school is a time of self-discovery, and you never know what you may like until you try it, so that you should try it. And I also want to say that comparison is the thief of joy and happiness. So make sure you follow your own path and you go along your own line so you can find what truly makes you happy rather than comparing yourself to other people. Thank you.
Just wow, right, of all of our students. And as a former science teacher, I love all the STEM careers that we're looking forward to in the future, especially girls in STEM, great. Love boys in STEM too, but girls in STEM, awesome. So can we just give another round of applause for our students? And again, thank you for your patience. We're wrapping up, and just a couple of reminders. There's ways for you to get involved if you're not involved already, and this QR code will tell you those ways to get further involvement. There's lots of ways to be a partner with us. We have JREC that meets quarterly. That's a great opportunity to connect with other partners, not just the school district, so I encourage you to talk to us about that and to use this code to really put your name on the list, and you'll start getting all of our emails. So in conclusion, our theme tonight was really, it takes a village, our partnerships matter. Everything we do and all the decisions we make are for our students. Our students are amazing, and they demonstrated that tonight.
And we're so thankful to all of our community partners that provide additional opportunities to extend the classroom and extend the opportunities that are specific to our Joliet Township kiddos. So thank you for coming out tonight, thank you for making the time, and thank you for allowing us to go over. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Joliet Township High School District Address. I'm Bonnie Winfrey. See you next year.